Now, I'm sure if you've seen some of my videos, you'll see across from my Guardians that even though they end up looking kind of like Power Rangers, specifically on the colors, I do care about fashion. To that extent, it is time to see what new fashion is available for us in the Eververse store with Season of the Deep. Now, getting into it, I'm going to go by class for everything that is class related, but aside from that, I'm going to go on basically the front page and show you everything new in the store on this season. So, going straight off the bat, for the Warlocks at least, we have the Ancestral Warlock Armor Bundle, which is this seasonal Eververse armor, which is based on the Ghost of Tsushima series, because if you didn't know, the Eververse armor set this season is based off of a lot of Sony facilities. If you don't know the exacts, it is Ghost of Tsushima, Horizon Zero Dawn, and God of War, as well as a little bit of Last of Us here and there, as you will see. So, going throughout, we see a bundle that is based on the Cordyceps bundle, aka The Last of Us, which is a lot of Last of Us themed stuff in the form of the Clicker Ghost Shell, obviously Cordyceps on it, infecting. Blooming Terror for the ship, very similar so, Cordyceps infected, but also, just as a heads up, you can also preview the space stream as well as rotate it about now, so you can see what it looks like from all angles, in case you were so curious. And we also have the Quarantine Runner, which is, of course, another Sparrow, which it looks pretty basic, but of course overrun by Cordyceps, so if you wish to go about there. And we also have the Endless Roamer Finisher Bundle. Now, even though they previewed kind of specific to each, they aren't class specific, so even though these look like in the trailers they were class specific, they are not. So we have Whirling Chaos, a finisher, which is basically the God of War finisher, in case you were not keen, just as one more time. Slamming down. And we also have the Perfect Strike, which is the Ghost of Tsushima finisher, basically as such. And then we also have the From Nowhere, which is a sliding arrow shot to the face. Then the rest of it is pretty standard stuff. We have Season of the Deep starter packs, which is a set of gear based on that, as well as a variety of stuff that is unique to just the season. It's a variety of sparrows and shaders, sparrows and ghosts, and ships. If you so wish to visit any of them, you're more than welcome to. And going on to that, we also have a bundle, which is the Mida Multi-Accessories Bundle, which comes with the Mara Multi-Tool Ornament, which is a new Dreamy City-styled multi-tool ornament, as well as the Mara Monitor Ghost Projection, which I'm generally not sure what that means. Then we also have the Dream Cycle Shader, which it's hard to say, well, actually, looking at it, it's not half bad. It looks pretty solid, but I don't know if it's worth buying it specifically in a bundle. But then we also have two other bundles to go with it. We have the Solar Gate bundle, which features Vexplosion, which is a Vex Mythoclast style Sunshot, as well as the Chrono Halo projection, which is basically a Vex projection, as well as the Solar Shrapnel shader, which probably not going to look yeah, it's not too terrible. And it's hard to say whether or not it's also worth it. And one more bundle in the form of Strange Fortunes bundles, which features the a very bright version of Quicksilver Storm, as well as Puka Pal, which is it's a Puka ghost projection, and then the Aquatic Iridescence shader, which, oh god, that is not at all what I was expecting, but it's definitely a Neomuna based one if I've ever seen it. But those are pretty much most of the bundles, and you'll see a lot of stuff throughout here, which is the finisher we just seen. And then in terms of a pair, we have the Heart of Steel Warlock Universal Ornament. This is the armor ornament, which, I think I know what this is. This is what goes for the stag. For a specific, I can't say exactly I'm not sure exactly what it goes for, but if I had to guess, if you look at the stag in a specific ornament, because they are made for the ornaments, the Capreolinax, I think that's the closest look to it. I can't be certain, but in terms of what I just saw in that store, after looking at the gauntlets again, yeah, that's pretty much the closest bet, plus the tiny little horns there. So that's what it pairs with. I'm interested to see how it actually affects it. But then in terms of other things, we have more emotes in form of Gadgeteer, an exotic emote, which it's hard to say what this is supposed to be. I think this is maybe a Ratchet and Clank reference? I'm not sure. This is allegedly another Sony-based one, but you know. Then we also have the Circling Sharks, which there is a fishing-themed set of ornaments in the thing as well, so if you are so interested in that, there you go. Then we also have the bailing water emote, which is, I think, a Titan-based emote, generally, just because, I mean, look at it. You're bailing water out of a boat. But it's hard to say whether or not you actually survive this venture or just kind of let it sink. Okay, well, it looks like... Okay, I don't know. People making emotes are kind of weird. And we also have the kiddie pool multiplayer emote, which, well, another funny sitting emote, but who... Oh, I thought that person was on their phone. I'm supposed to say, who's in the pool and on their water? And we also have the row your boat emote, another multiplayer one. A lot of water-based themes. Like, I know Titan, Season of the Deep, but geez. And, of course, Peace by the Water, which is basically just somebody chilling out and fishing. Hard to say if they'll actually catch something, though. Yep, doesn't look like they are. And let's see, we've already looked at those. And then we have a variety of legendary emotes and blue rarity emotes, in case you were so curious. In terms of some new ghost projections, we have the All Together now, which is definitely a Bungie-based emblem. The Unspun Fate Transmat effect, which is basically a strand transmat. And the Resurrected Shadow, which is a Witness / Callous / Shadow Legion thing. Then, in terms of the main things, now I hear a lot of people angry about this, but we have a new Starfire Protocol ornament, which I'm not gonna lie, it does look good, but at the same time, a lot of people are angry because Starfire was apparently just nerfed going into the season. But, you know, when you hug a meta so much that it needs to be nerfed, that's kind of what you get for abusing metas. So if you wanted a good Starfire ornament and Starfire to be good, maybe don't literally have everyone use it. So, there you go. We also have Ionic Fringe, which is for Fallen Sunstar, which it's hard to say whether or not I like this above the normal one. It's weird. It's like, it looks cool, but it also looks weird in my mind. I see like an eye, an eyebrow, and a tiny little set of teeth there. So it's just, like I said, it's just weird in my brain. Then in terms of the broad variety of weapons, we've seen what we've seen before. We have Vexplosion, a Vex Mythoclast style Sunshot. The Mara Multi-Tool, which is a Dreaming City style multi-tool. And we have Outrunner, which is the community voted ornament for Arbalist, which, I'm not gonna lie, it does look cool. And at the same time, Arbalist has so many ornaments, Arbalist is so used, I really wish we had other things. And we also have Dreaming Clarity, which is a Deepstone Crypt style Monte Carlo, which I actually really like the look of it, because while I can tell it's Dreaming or Deepstone Crypt, it doesn't look like it's aggressively Deepstone Crypt, if that makes sense. Then that Quicksilver Storm ornament we just looked at, still quite bright, still hurting my eyes a little bit. And we have Hibernal Thorns. Basically, it turns Winterbite into Triton's, what's the word? Not a pitchfork, something. I watched the Aquaman movie a few times, but I didn't retain what that was called. Pike? No, that's not the right word. We also have Aranir's SG-1, which looks like a retro, more bricky style retro, well, actually, after looking at it, it's an Amalon style conditional finality, if they want to make it look like it was built as opposed to forged in light and dark. So with that is all of the new stuff in the seasonal offerings that is broad. Now I'm going to start switching to my other characters to start showing you the other details. For the Hunters on the front page, we have the Anointed Hunter Armor Bundle. Like I said before, this one is supposed to be Horizon Zero Dawn, which I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty solid as an armor bundle, but at the same time, I don't know. It looks pretty cool, but at the same time, it doesn't look unique so far. I mean, if that makes sense in your brain, like when I look at Ghost of Tsushima, we don't see many samurai-based warlocks, but then I look at this hunter, and it just looks like another hunter. Granted, it has a few liberties that it didn't exactly have access to without copyright material, but at the same time, it just looks like another hunter, so it's hard for me to say that's a good one. And we have the Deep Hydra, a ornament for the hunters, which, if I could pick what this is supposed to go with, is the Deep Hydra ornament that pairs, let's see here, with armor, with the version of Star Eaters, this one, Tekelili, which I would guess it matches with that just based on the visuals, but I mean, I could possibly be wrong. Doubt it, but I could definitely still be wrong. But next is the ornament specifically for the hunters. We have the Olmsted's Downfall, a pretty freaking cool looking ornament for Blight Ranger. I really like how that looks. I'm not gonna lie, I don't use Blight Ranger, but this could possibly make me start using it. We shall wait and see, though. And we also have pressure stabilizer for Gerfalcons, which I guess is Gerfalcons, but a little more Titan Pacific Arcology. So, it's hard to say whether or not that is a positive or a negative, but, you know, it looks pretty solid there, so who's to complain, really? Now, on to Titans. So, going right into the front page, they have the Godsbane Titan bundle, which is the God of War set, which, again, Bungie, I know it's themed. There is a theme to it. This is my judgment voice. But it just kind of looks like another Titan bundle that has some detail. Like, literally, this looks like another average Titan, but they added a red stripe to it. Like, when they have the Halloween themes, it looks interesting, but it's also themed in a way that you can tell is obviously themed. If that red stripe wasn't there, I just think this is another type of Titan look. Like, yeah, Bungie, please. But aside from my judgments, we have the Heartrend, which, if I could guess exactly what this is, just because there isn't much more like it, what this goes for is Heart of Inmost Light, and its Taken ornament. Just, let's see, scrolling through a few things, Heart of Inmost Light. If I had to guess what looked like it, this is definitely the closest comparison, which didn't this come out last season? Season of Chosen, yeah. So, pretty quick to get a new ornament for that. So, I'm curious to see how all these actually pair together and make a special exotic glow. But then lastly, for Titan ornaments, we have two more exotic ornaments for them. We have Anchorphage for Point Contact Cannon Brace, which I get what they're going for. A Fnatic style look with new chain. It looks pretty cool, but I still don't know if it looks better than its original. Because quite literally all it did was really make it look rusty and add a Scorn cap to the shoulder plates. Which, still think it kind of looked better as original. So, it's, like I said, it's still all opinions. Some people might think it's badass, they might make it look really good, but I don't think I'm going to buy it or use it over the base. And lastly, we have Chivalry's Chill, which is for Cadmus Ridge Lance Cap, which definitely makes me think that they might be running of ideas, because this exotic came out just last season, and it's already gotten an ornament, not to mention that this exotic was pretty mid from what I've reviewed from Dado's video. I hadn't put much work into it, I can't say if I was a fan exactly, but you know, doesn't look that much different from how it looks regularly. It's just a metal helmet instead of a woolly cap. So, I don't know. It's kind of mixed opinions. Like, none of these guns is exactly speaking out to me. Like, I like Monte Carlo, but most of the guns in here I don't really use aside from Conditional Finality, but I like Conditional Finality just the way it is. I know we're still waiting on exotics, and just because talking about it, I might as well show one more ornament in the form of the Centrifuge ornament, which does look pretty solid. Like, I really like that look. We haven't gotten many rank 100 ornaments that are used over the base, but still, I think that there's missing something for the ornaments. I know we have a dungeon gun coming out soon that will likely have a ornament for that too, but, you know, I'm just gonna hold my tongue and just hope that the seasonal offerings are better than I expect, at least with the pairings. On that note, my name is Matt Scorpion. I will see you in the next video.